welcome on in. Yes. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be here with you, lovely souls. Let's let's get love in the equation. You know what I'm saying? Let's get love in the equation. We can't forget that. It's very important. Welcome, welcome, collective. Welcome, wise minds, healing hearts. If you here on Earth right now, and Earth is the color green, the same color as your heart chakra, then you should conceptualize that this is a heart experience. Whether get my astute, I'm in my astute clothes right now. Student Q. All right, this is student Q, letting y'all know I'm right here in the classroom with you. See, it gets to the point where we start looking at each other on some, what do we really need the teacher for? Between all of us in this classroom, we can probably conceptualize the same idea as one adult has done. Think about this slow down process. You got 30 kids in the classroom. You trying to tell me 30 children's minds can't keep up with one adult? See, this ain't always about showing that you the one in charge. You the one pioneering the path for everyone else. It hasn't been 5 minutes. Fuck y'all. I don't need your pioneering. I need your unity. See how I did that? There's a difference. I don't need your pioneering. I don't need your leadership. Not at this moment. See, I want you to understand life's about waves, family. Life's about waves. And we in the fifth wave right now, family. There's a movie that came out. Let me pull it up for you real quick. All right. All right, let's get this. Let's get this right. Hold on. Ain't nobody late. We just got here. Now there's a movie that we refer to. Hold on. All right, there's a movie that we refer to as the fifth wave. And if you haven't seen this movie, you should. Because they're basically talking about the now. This is probably the closest we're going to get to the now outside of the now. This movie is basically explaining how an extraterrestrial presence emerges itself. Now, I want you to understand, another word for extraterrestrial is multidimensional. Meaning, they've left their plane of dimension. They left their plane of understanding. They've left their dimension, meaning they've either destroyed their dimension or mastered their dimension. Please conceptualize this. If there's going to be any extraterrestrial intervention, these deities, these entities represent two simple ideas. One, we destroyed ourselves, or two, we've mastered ourselves. And in the mastering of ourselves, we've mastered our environment. In the destruction of ourselves, grays, in the destruction of ourselves, we have destroyed our world. There's a group of Nordic entities that destroyed their home world. and they had to settle in the star system Aldebaran. Someone had to kind of welcome them in. This is the whole vampire concept of entering into a home. Anyway, make sure y'all check out this movie. Five different waves of self. The first wave, I think, in the movie was EMP burst. The second wave was the manipulation of the land. Now, you would think of it like manipulating of water, but it's also manipulating of earth. So it's like earthquakes. I know, right? EMP bursts, aka electrical issues. Earthquakes leading to tsunamis. The third wave, what was it? Anyway, gotta watch the movie. It's been a while since I watched it. I actually think it's on Netflix right now. But anyway, the fifth wave of this movie is the people who are resilient enough to survive everything that's happening. It's crazy out here. Make sure y'all hit the like button. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Those of you who may have discovered me from Brother Rich, welcome. I actually was going to go live yesterday and realized that my brother was actually going live around the same time, as well. And I'm not here to butt heads. So I'm going to let my brother speak. I'm going to let his guest speak. And then I'm going to try to adjust around that so I could show up the next day. If I know that there are a group of individuals that might have discovered me from that platform, it's only right to respect it so that you can still view that content and not have us competing. Never really thought that this was about competition. I always thought this was about unity. Just let your soul glow, baby. Woo! Remember, this is about solar eclipse. This is solar eclipse energy. This is ozone layer energy. This is you energy. Ooh, it's a deep thing. But make sure y'all hit the like button. And I am demonetized, so it would be only right if you could kind of show some love. For some reason, they consider Mr. CueReaves, I don't know, everything I'm not. For some reason, they want to put me into a frame. How you going to categorize what I am? You can't tell me about me. You could only tell me about you. So if YouTube trying to tell me I'm demonetized for provocative content, then YouTube is in the business of enforcing provocative content. That's how you got here. And now you're trying to make money off of me? You evil, evil man. You evil, evil woman. You evil, evil technology. All of that. I want you to know, when you're dealing with a real primordial, when you're dealing with a real entity that understands the multiple layers of itself, I'm on your ass, no Diddy. And I'm not about to crash out like young Pharaoh and be like young Thug, take this to motherfucking trial. No, I don't care about YouTube that much. Just know you reap what you sow. But anyway, thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all. 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 Hold on. Stretch my legs. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. Short life, you know what I'm saying? Short life. All right, here we go. Let's get the microphone heading this direction. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all can hear this. Oh. All right. Y'all got it? Y'all hear it? that out for a minute. Still handpan family. Tongue drum. I saw Woo! I'm sorry. Some things tickle me, you know. Some things really hit me with a level of humor that probably doesn't hit people the same. But this is what I want to tell you. I was watching back the replay of the Brother Rich interview I did, and I was looking at one of the comments. One of the comments was like, treacherous. How dare someone want to make a profit from sound therapy and instruments? You could just go out in nature and make your own instruments. Bruh, it's hard enough to grow apples, oranges, pears, pineapples. It's getting hard. The price of soy, I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm just trying to help you understand. It is hard enough for us to be able to use nature to feed us. And if you're telling me I'm lying, then why are the grocery stores still in business? Why are the grocery stores continuously popping up? Because clearly we don't have access to nature the way we need to. Thank you, Bill Gates. Thank you, Walmart. In order for Walmart to build a super city, it has to acquire acres and acres and acres and acres of land. It's like, for some reason, we as a people are on some like dumbass time. Because it was one of our people who said it. I looked at the comment and I was just like, bro, you Pan-African, back to Africa ass Negro. I wish you really slowed down and think about the things you are saying. I'm saying let's all come together to create an environment where we can help each other acquire expensive instruments, because to access some of these unique sounds, whether they're crystal instruments, whether they're metal instruments, bro, it costs. You can't, what, I'm supposed to make a metal pan from nature? I'm getting it from the trees? Where I'm getting the metal from? Where I'm getting it from? How am I make this? How am I hitting this in the woods? What am I doing? It's like you're not helping. And this is where I be feeling sometimes, like some of these people out here is straight psyops. You're not helping. What helps is to figure out how to accomplish some of these set goals. Because are you going to agree we as a people, all people, need some healing? We could agree on that, right? See, I was watching the Denzel movie, and it was called The Little Things. And in the Denzel movie, the guy who played Mr. Robot, he was in it as well, if you've ever seen that show. And he was, you know, this cocky detective from LA, and Denzel was playing like a county sheriff, you know, on the outskirts of Metropolis, out of this busy area of LA. And the detective was laughing at Denzel like, a lot has changed, you know, since you've been here in the business, because he was an ex-cop in LA. He looked at the Mr. Robot dude and was like, you still got to catch the bad guy, right? And the guy was like, I mean, yeah, but then ain't too much have changed. Yeah, I mean, forensics has evolved. Yeah, you may have some robots. You may have all this extra stuff to make it look good. Word salad. That's what I call it. Eye candy. You got people who are eye candy. You got people who are word saladers, meaning they just splurt out words. And they're just supposed to heal you like a salad, not realizing that salad is sprayed with all type of toxic chemicals and pesticides. And you sitting here eating this word salad, thinking that you sustaining yourself, when the reality is all covered in bullshit. Not even your own shit. Fermentation. Oh, y'all get y'all teas. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get y'all teas. Y'all need to get y'all teas. I'm about to sip some of this tea real quick. But, get you some of these teas. Where I get a tea from? Where I get some of this tea? You know what? You can go right to my website, CueReaves.com. You head on over to CueReaves.com. Guess what you do? You hit the buy now button. You hit it. Don't think about it. Just hit it. And when you hit it, no diddy. Nah, I don't know if you guys. I don't know if we gotta say no diddy on that one. But when you click on it, it's gonna open up my Etsy. So let's get to the Etsy now. Alright, boom. Boom. Alright. When you click it, it's gonna take you over to the Etsy page. This Etsy page will show you some of the more popular teas that I'm carrying. This is currently the tea that I'm sipping on right now. You see how beautiful that look? Ain't it beautiful? It's almost as beautiful as Naya. Almost. It's almost as beautiful as Naya. And look, if you don't believe me, where the camera at? Look. This ain't no cap. There's no cap in my rap. You see that chat? I'm rapping. That's all high quality right there. Do a little 360 for me. Do a little 360 for me. Shake it like a salt shaker. Do your lungs some justice. Help your body out. Head on over, get you a bag of organic fruit infused ancient healing loose leaf tea, respiratory and lung health, high quality product. Thank you, Naya and Q. I have been loving the Breathe Ease tea. I just placed my third order and added 2 of the new varieties. I'm so excited to try these new flavors. Tea arrived fast after order, packaged nice. Tea, herbs, flowers are beautiful and smell delightful. Tea is soft, mild, and a beautiful addition to my evening routine and ritual. And there's more to be said. Look, it goes up to 9 pages. 9 pages, family. 9 pages. All right, look. That's someone's tea right there. And this was November. I've gotten even better. There it is, seeped. Nice golden brown. Like the sun. Remember, this is solar activation, family. This is what today's video is about. And some other things. Look at this. Man, that's a nice pop. All right, Michael. Go ahead, Michael. You know what I'm saying? I need to get one of these. They even got these in stock anymore? I mean, phew. It's clean. Look at this. Y'all is on. Is more pictures? Oh, okay. All right. So then we got other stuff up here. Who is my deity? Psychic reading. Cut up then, Naya. Cut up then. Look at this. Cut up then. Michael, with your snow leopard as your spirit animal. Cut up then. Matter of fact, I didn't even know. I could have sat here and created. Look at this. Naya, what you doing up here cutting up like this? I'll get back to the reviews. I ain't gonna spend too much time. 51 reviews. 51 reviews, 36 reviews on this tea. I'm just trying to see if anyone was complaining. I mean, I think she got 5 stars across the board. Dang, shorty. How you getting 5 stars across the board? Dang. Okay. All right. Respect. Respect. All right. Well, I'm going to leave it there. Get y'all some teas, family. All right. We lit. All right, let's start this video. Thank y'all for being patient. Thank y'all for woo, that's good. Thank y'all for being patient. All right, so today's video, the ozone layer, the solar eclipse, and you. I want you all to kind of get in the habit of incorporating yourself in everything. I'm learning about the solar eclipse and myself. I'm learning about the ozone layer and myself. This solar eclipse has to do with myself. The ozone layer has to do with myself. I know some of you may think these things sometimes. Your body does not understand a thought. Your mind does. I know, right? Let me say this again. Your body does not understand a thought. Your mind does. You think because you're thinking something that that's enough for manifestation. It's not. In order to manifest something, the body has to go through physical applications, physical experiences, physical aspects of the manifestation. Meaning that your body's involved in your manifestations, family, whether you are aware of it or not, whether you are honestly slowing down to truly acknowledge this or not. I mean, some of you are going to say, no, that's a no-brainer. Well, how many times are you talking to your body out loud? Probably not too often, because when you talk to yourself out loud, they consider you crazy. So maybe don't start talking to yourself out loud around people who don't understand the simple science of the universe. Oh, NPC stuck in the sunken place ass people. Let them stay there. Remove yourself. At the end of the day, their aura or EM field is probably disrupting you anyway, making you get out of character or get out of your sphere. Start looking at yourself in more of an orbital construct. Because lucky for you, if you're here, you've most likely made it out the box. If you're here, you are most likely taking the necessary precautions to have such a rewarding and successful afterlife. And some of your afterlives are going to be here. You're not going anywhere. You have been here since the beginning, and you will be here until the end. This is your home. Where else would you go? And then you want to go while there's an invader in your home. What's wrong with us? I don't want to go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere until this invader is out of my home, until this cancer is removed from the body. I'm not going nowhere if my brothers and sisters are still being abducted and kidnapped, forced ideologies of unaliving themselves, touching people in inappropriate ways, homelessness. I mean, the list goes on. Where we gonna go? Just go leave these problems for something else? Guess you ain't no OG. That's what's wrong with the gangs in the world nowadays. There ain't no original gods. There ain't no original gangsters. Everyone done converted into something that they not because the internet told them to. Stop being caught in a net, little fisherman. Get out of the net, Sandra Bullock. Realize that the moment you entered the net, you've entered a trap or an observation of one's soul. There is something that's learning from you. Oh, it's something learning from you. Oh, Oh, oh. In my Rick Ross voice. Oh. I want to try that. That sounds good. Put that on my list. Put that on my list. But thank you, Lucas. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Odin. Thank you, Freelon. Thank you, Sammy Joe. Thank you, Sarita. Thank you, T. Thank you for the give and receive. Thank you for staying balanced in the life. I often just ask for, like I say, $1. We try to do 20 blessings within a live, so hopefully we could get there. I think that's about 6 or 7 blessings, so maybe about 13 more to go. I literally only asking for $1. But I haven't started yet, so I could see the reason to not, hold on, brother. Before I'm about to give a little bit of what I receive, what you giving me, brother? What? You know what I'm giving? My all. How about that? What am I giving? My all, because I don't know nothing else. That's why I graduated high school in 3 years. That's why I raised 2 kids that weren't even mine in a relationship for 8 to 9 years at 18 years old. Because my ideology is all or nothing. How about you? I believed in myself so much, I walked away from societal standards. Have you? I don't follow no one's rules. There's a simple ideology. If there's an in, there's an out. And that relates to everything. 206 people present. Make sure we hit the like button. That's all I'm going to ask. Make sure you hit the like button. We chosen. We chosen. I'm only as good as the energy I receive. I'm only here because you helped get me here. But that's for everyone. Nature Boy is where Nature Boy is because y'all helped him get there. Bobby Hemmett is where Bobby Hemmett is because y'all helped him get there. See, let me give you a quick little rundown of the difference between Bobby Hemmett and these new generations, these new gens. These old genies versus these new genies. These old gens versus these new gens. Bobby was speaking to a collective of individuals that never heard any of this stuff before. So it's a form of vampirism. Y'all sitting here ciphering energy and life force from this individual. And whether he was aware of it or not, he had to get used to swimming in your waters. He had to come down. Bobby was advanced. Bobby was ahead of the game. It's like a genius. A genius so lonely. A genius must have to come down to certain levels. I have to swim in the same waters as you. And another word for swimming is a stroke. I know, right? It's why sometimes you got to be careful what waters you're swimming in. Because in my waters, I don't have to swim. I'm floating. Therefore, there's no strokes. I'm floating. But when you are now in enemy waters, you got to get Michael Phelps on them. And of course, that's going to have effects. You are in an environment you're not supposed to be in. See, for Bobby to have this information that he has, it's no different than like a Knights Templar, a Mason, a Shriner, some of these highly evolved conversationalists and informants or informants. Smart people talk to smart people. That way you're not getting drained. What do you think, Harvard, Yale? Smart people talk to smart people. But when you are a smart individual trying to get others to get on the same level as you, it is literally sacrificing yourself. Once again, Christ consciousness. And Bobby has sacrificed himself, started to swim in y'all waters long enough, it led to a stroke. And when you can no longer stay afloat, you drown, meaning you disappear. What a time. What a time. It's why they want y'all to constantly be workhorses. See this? Y'all show horses to them. You a means for them to get from one point to the next. The secret of the horse is the horse was colonized by a group of entities known as the Mongols. The blood of the Mongols is associated to the Caucasus Mountains, by the way, which is where the Caucasian rose from. And the original Caucasian is of Jewish origin. So a Jew or a Jewish entity is actually an Asiatic entity. Jews is descendants of Mongols. Mongols are an aspect of the chosen races of Atlantis. But nevertheless, they learned how to civilize the horse. Just like the just like the Caucasian has figured out how to civilize the wolf. Man's best friend becomes man's enemy. There you go. Father of the Caucasian race. No cap. No cap. And Genghis Khan was possessed by Xenu, which is something we're going to talk about in a second as well. I do things a little different over here, family. I know a lot of people often want these direct, just feed it to me, Q. I don't like to kind of prepare these things myself, but this is not a lazy channel. This is a channel that allows you to be in the driver's seat and to take some of these ideologies and to take some of these concepts and decide how you get them in motion. So I ain't never going to be as super direct as some of these other channels because I'm not the type of person that does not believe in you. I believe in you. And because I believe in you, I believe that I can give you ideologies that stretch your mind and your mind will understand it. I believe in you. So let's get to this. We have a solar eclipse happening on a moon day. What a coincidence. When did the earthquake in New York happen? Do y'all remember what day it was? What day did the eclipse happen? Tell me the day. I'm asking for a reason. I know. All right, y'all saying it happened yesterday. What day was that? Yesterday is not a day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It happened Friday. What day does Friday associate to? What day does Friday, what planet, I'm sorry, does Friday associate to? It associates to Venus. It associates to the goddess Frega. Day of Venus. Frega. And it happened exactly 3 days, 72, that's a 9, days before the eclipse. Now, Venus is considered the planet that has to do with sexuality. Have you ever heard of that? Venus being connected to sexuality. Would y'all agree? See, I don't like to say certain things that I don't know if maybe that's how I have been introduced. Remember, I'm not sitting in nobody's library reading tons and tons and tons of books, memorizing tons and tons and tons and tons of information. Nah, that's not me. Only thing I really try to do is get myself into a certain alignment. So yes, Venus is associated to sexuality. Now, earthquakes. To make an earthquake, this is a grown folks channel over here, so we want to make sure that some of the things we're going to talk about are grown-up topics. But it's okay, we grown here. I'm going to ask the next question. Have you ever noticed a man or a woman producing an orgasm? And when you've noticed a man or a woman producing this orgasm, they quake. Yes or no? Yes or no? Interesting ideology. Remember, I ain't trying to sit here and dictate the tone of any of these things. We have the ability to process these things for ourselves, but it's a simple idea. Would you say orgasm represents the quaking of one's earth or body? Shiver me timbers. Sometimes I'd be like, all right. I think the rest of the people who didn't like the video yet are agents. We definitely have agents in here, bro. I have celebrities that are in here. You ever heard of I don't even want to put them on blast like that. Several social media personalities or celebrities have reached out to me, especially some of the ones that were like producers, hairstylists, barbers of these individuals, and they done came across some wild stuff. They done seen some crazy stuff, and they need some Q. What the hell was that? What did I just notice, brother? Brother, hey, bro, can you please tell me what it is I just noticed? What just happened? What was that? Yeah. So yeah, you get a little bit of everything in here, but it's okay. It's okay. We also get geniuses in here because this is also part of what I'm about to talk about. How the orgasm is also associated to the ozone. and how XO, which is associated to the X chromosome signifying feminine and the O being symbolic for the womb, XO is actually in a occult term for domination over the female. Just like pink is a color of domination over the female. And this is why it's important to have pink and purple assist or help each other. That's a whole nother situation now. But anyway, the weekend, which was Friday, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, during the weekend, the earth quaked. But something had to seed earth. So something had to happen prior to this earthquake. Well, on Thor Day, aka Thursday, the Statue of Liberty, which is really the goddess of justice, was struck by lightning. And lightning has always been symbolic for sperm. It also is associated to Lucifer, because the theory is in ancient times when the lightning struck a bush, it produced fire. And this is the first time ancient culture was able to accelerate themselves beyond what some would consider a savage life. But these ain't all ancestors. Some ancestors came from other planets, therefore they didn't go through the same struggles of evolution that younger species did on this planet. All right, let's get it. Now we got 300 people in the building. So let's clap it up for a second. Let's clap it up for a second. Shouts out to y'all. We done hit 300 people. If you've been here since the beginning, you know it's been a long road. It's been a long road, but we here. So let's keep going. So we have on a Thor Day, aka Thursday, lightning, and this is what the god represents. On Friday, we have the earth quaking. And on Monday, we have a solar eclipse. Bro, the signs are right here in our face. Where does the baby grow? In your belly. In your belly is your stomach. In your stomach is known as your solar plex. Solar eclipse on Monday. Lightning strike on Thursday. Sperm, aka multidimensional entities opening up a door. You with me? This is what sperm is doing. You are opening up a door. But if there's nowhere for that door to lead, nothing walks through it. So then the doorway is opened, but through which womb or entity? Lady Liberty, aka Lady of Justice. This is why Justin Combs is in the news right now. Now, I got to find out which the other one. I think it's Christian. Which one got the current law? Yup, Christian. So let's look at this stuff. So you got Justin, no current lawsuits against Justin. But King Christ, aka Christian. See, I keep trying to tell you, Christ got issues, family. Daddy issues specifically. But I'm just pointing out these signs for you just to pay attention to. Thursday, they opened up a door. The door has to be opened through a god or goddess, meaning that there has to be something beyond this spectrum to allow something in. They opened the door Thursday, striking the Statue of Liberty. Now keep in mind, Thor is part of the Avengers. Thor is supposed to represent justice. So this is all about the balancing of Earth. Gaia, Ma'at, Tiamat, all these terminologies. This is about the balancing of this planet. And certain things have to happen to represent these balancing equations. One, you got to open up a door. Another, you got to charge the ideology. So you are charging up the Statue of Liberty. If you remember the Ghostbusters movie, it was the Statue of Liberty that defeated evil. They rolled in on the Statue of Liberty. They used one of the greatest weapons that has been used against us, music, against the enemy. So they charged up the statue. I want you to understand it's almost as if they got this goddess in motion. Because less than 24 hours later, New York quakes. New Jersey quakes. And if you understand the position of the Statue of Liberty, if you were to think of this at a metaphysical level or as a multidimensional level, meaning that in one aspect of Earth, they got the Statue of Liberty to get in motion. No, there's a Earth right now that on Friday, they figured out how to get this statue in motion. Now, what they're doing in that timeline of Earth, what they on that Earth, my awareness isn't completely on that Earth, so I can't tell you. But things that happen in other Earths still spill over to this plane of existence. So charging up a goddess gets the goddess in motion. And the earthquake was symbolic of the goddess getting in motion, justice getting in motion. And this is why there's a lot of signs saying get out of New York, because they're telling you that when Justice League, Avengers, do they not damage things while they're fighting justice? Do buildings not get destroyed? Do people not get hurt? Oh, we cannot forget this. Let's not forget CERN and NASA got some strange stuff going on the 8th, including NASA sending up rockets, one of them known as a pet. The primordial deity that was created out of none to be her servant. So they are setting up a rocket, calling it a servant, and hoping that this rocket serves them. This is primordial manipulation. I want you to know when you name something, you are placing the consciousness or spirit attached to that name on it. This is why in your Pan-African movement, they were so adamant about you changing your name. Now, that's one thing I would say. If you don't have enough connections to the multitude of inside of you, then you may want to remove certain spirits. And changing one's name does help with this. But you also got to remember that these names are going to sit with you because you've said this name so many times to your body for so long, your body started to believe it as well. And others have called you this name as well, whether that was married, whether that was your birth name. And it often takes about 7 years for your body to remove what it has been programmed to experience. So say your last name was Burns, and in 2021, you decide to change your name to Gaia. Well, in 2022, your body still thinks it's Burns. In 2023, it still thinks it's Burns. Your mind thinks that it is Gaia, but your body does not believe you. And if you even slip up, say you go 7 days or longer with allowing them to refer to you as Burns, to you're in a court case and you're in divorce court right now, and they got to call you Burns because that's legally what's on file right now. Your body cannot let go of that yet. Say your divorce is in 2023, then once that divorce is over, ain't nobody else referred to you as Burns. You got 7 years after that, well, then it can start to shake that spirit off. We have a solar eclipse happening on a Monday. A moon is a womb. A solar plex is housing sun gods. What is a sun god? It is something that provides light, aka knowledge, warmth, and awareness. Light, knowledge, warmth, and awareness. This is what the solar plex represents. So let me help you slow down and process what I'm saying. We're talking about the soul. And your soul can do one of these three things or all of these three things. It can provide knowledge to you or that which has attached to your soul. Now that could be ancestors. That could be gods and goddesses, devils, demons, archons, watchers. There's a lot of stuff that could attach to you. And what are you doing for them? You are providing knowledge for them. What? How am I providing knowledge to a god? What? How am I providing knowledge to a goddess? Ain't they like all knowing? Ain't they supposed to just have all the information themselves? No. What if I was to tell you, you don't need the gods and goddesses. The gods and goddesses need you. What if I was to tell you that? What if I was to tell you that these gods and goddesses are in a loop in their paradigm and have chosen to project themselves into a human construct, and this human concept is here to help them get out of their loop? What if I was to tell you what you consider gods and goddesses are really just ancestors? And now let me help you understand a simple idea. You have an ancestor, 1930s, almost 100 years ago. This ancestor experienced being touched and inappropriately sexualized. Starts with R, ends with E. So you have an ancestor that experienced that. And when she experienced that at a young age, she couldn't handle it. So she decided to unalive herself. So now you have an ancestor that's dealing with R, last thing E, and dealing with unaliving herself. Starts with S, ends with side. So you have an ancestor dealing with these two things. They're looped now. They're stuck. Constantly being unappropriately touched through their future generations. Stuck. Meaning, 1930, she removed herself. She went inside the body of a niece. This niece was 3 at the time. Fast forward to take 15 years later. Now this niece experienced the same thing. And that niece wasn't able to handle it as well. She unalived herself. So now, misery loves company. So now it's two ancestors stuck in this loop. And it keeps going until we get to modern 2024. You're 18 years old. You are a descendant of these ancestors that unalived themselves and was appropriately touched. And guess what? You're 18 years old and you're in a back alley. And guess what? Some vicious man is pulling up on you. But there's a difference between you and these other ancestors. Why? Why are you different than them? Because you have attached or connected to other things that didn't just represent that loop. You have another energy inside you that's a goddamn black belt, jiu-jitsu master, a ronin, a samurai. You got that in you as well. And for 18 years, you have been fighting your whole life. 18 years, you didn't let no one disrespect you. 18 years, you stood on business. And because you stood on business for 18 years, you are more possessed by the spirit of the samurai than you are the one that unalived itself. So guess what you do when you get trapped into this corner in the back alley at 18 years old? You whoop some ass. That's what you do. You whoop some ass. I wish you would try that shit again. You hurt that individual so much, you done knocked his ass out of his loop. Pan done put the pipe down. You done knocked some sense into Pan. Thank you for invoking your Amazonian goddess. Thank you for invoking your Valkyrie. This is real out here. Do you understand this? That's how I'm helping him? Yes, you putting him on game. You helping the ghost of your ancestors pass so that they can finally enter the solar plex, aka your soul. They failed with theirs. Their souls have been damaged. Their souls have been damaged. Their souls have been damaged. Damaged souls. Dim lights. Artificial. They're flashing. All these things. That's how you giving them knowledge. I know, right? Damn. So because I didn't allow myself to get touched in that alley and I whooped some ass, I just healed maybe 10 of my ancestors. I just made it where when I transition, I'm not in the same line of all these unalived ancestors. I wake up to a goddess. I don't wake up into a body that's probably going to do the same thing, unalive itself. Do you understand this? This is some of you, based on the experiences you have in the life. If there are certain things you have not been able to accomplish, you go back inside your family so they can help you fix it. But that's not always the best option. You really want to wake up to the true form of you. Whether that is the highest plasmatic form of yourself, call it a god or goddess, aka light being. See, some of your higher selves is just futuristic versions of you. And I applaud you for being able to access your future self. What am I clapping? Hold on. No, this is serious. This shit serious. Hold on. This is serious. If you If you are able to access the future version of yourself, if you have had a higher self regression, or you talked to a voice that knew something before it was to happen, don't go down that dark tunnel, you know, that type thing. But don't stop there. Don't stop there. Would you comfortable now because you're able to tap into a future on this plane? You are a multi-dimensional being. There's so many possibilities out there and so much going on. You're literally everything, everywhere, all at once. And you have to get aligned with that, which is a part of this multi-dimensional solar eclipse. They get nervous. They trying to knock me out. They trying to knock me out. No, I ain't going nowhere. We got to get this. We got to get this figured out. I'm gonna read to you what I put. This eclipse is a multiverse event, meaning that this eclipse is happening in a variety of Earths. First, let me break down this picture for you. This or these are your sibyls. These are your oracles. They are in primordial waters. If you have ever seen the movie Minority Report, then you will understand this with ease. These are wombs. A womb, a womb, a womb, a womb, a womb. And all of these wombs are being manifested above. The theory is, as above, so below. So you are seeing sperm entering an egg. Sperm transforming or unifying with the egg. This is once again a sperm entering the egg. Sperm entering the egg. The transforming of the sperm and egg. Now, this is your Black Christ. And please do not make this a race thing. This is Adam, meaning seed bearer, meaning it is his substance or his sacrifice that he is offering to all of the wombs, aka mothers, sisters, daughters. This is the sun. This is the sun. The son then becomes the father. Horus is Osiris. Osiris is Horus. This is to help not only remind you, divine masculine, that you have a adolescent aspect of self and a mature aspect of self. And the adolescent version of self, whether you are actually aware of it or not, is more peaceful, is more resolved, is more content. It's still. But God is motion. Goddess is motion. The universe is motion, so nothing can truly remain still. So in your stilled state, you have projected yourself into multiple versions. Queens, empresses, women. This is not your simulation. If this was your simulation, we would be at peace. Do you see this? We would be still. We would be content. But we are not here. We are in the mind of a child. And this child is projecting itself into multiple versions. Now, some of these versions represent a priesthood. This is where you get Melchizedek. If you look at this is the same thing they were doing in Doctor Strange. This is the same thing as Doctor Strange, using energy points. Energy point, energy point, energy point, energy point. And then the sole of the feet, energy point. If you look, energy point, energy point, energy point, energy point, energy point. Meaning that your third eye has to be in sync with your solar plex. Your solar plex has to be in sync with your root. Your root has to be in sync with the motion and movement of one's hands, feet. And through the unity of these energy points, you can do what we call energy manipulation. You can open up portals. And the only portals that are opening up right now is the portals of God, aka the mind of God, which is really the mind of the child. So there are elitists, priesthoods, and multidimensional entities, and it's a lot of interesting stuff right now that are choosing to open up portals. The question is, what are they sending through these portals? After Monday, what's life going to be like? That's the question, right? Well, let's continue to read what I wrote. Please hit the like button. $ CueReaves if you're feeling generous. This eclipse is a multiverse event about alignment with the multiverse, aka the multidimensional self or cells. Yes, your cells are multidimensional. There was a comment that was explaining, a comment that was said by one of my supporters, that she was diagnosed bipolar. And she basically said it felt like prior to her activating this aspect of herself, she said she felt like she was an autopilot. And then the moment she kind of awoken, which they deemed bipolar, she considered awoken, this autopilot was turned off. And now she's dialed in. And whoo, is she dialed in. It's no different than in the movie The Fifth Wave. They explain that this extraterrestrial species sent babies to Earth so that they could become sleeper cells, so that when they arrive, they activate. So the arrival of energies, whether those are solar energies coming through a solar eclipse, whether that's an extraterrestrial ship coming out the sky, whatever, the presence of extraterrestrial or dimensional energy, understand, we're about to view a black hole on Monday, family. And whatever comes through is going to activate something within people. People that have been sleeping are going to wake up. And those that have already been heeding the call and has already been accessing this information, because this actually happened, 2017? Which is interesting. That's when I started even talking about anything spiritual, 2017. I left the women, the drugs, modeling. I left all that behind and was like, why am I doing that? I was sleeping with women and it wasn't even anything I wasn't like, it felt numb. Now don't get it twisted. Sex can be an enjoyable action, but outside of the carnal or surface aspect of it, it just felt numb. It didn't feel, it felt like I wasn't sleeping with something that I truly connect to, just something I'm truly familiar with. I'm sleeping with a puppet. And basically the best way to help you understand these eclipses is about cutting the strings so that you can finally be a real boy, Pinocchio. You don't got to keep lying to yourself. You don't have to keep lying to yourself about this illusion, lying to yourself about this. You are ill and you are losing. So it's time to get better. It's time to do something different. Y'all been doing this. Once again, applaud yourself. It took a lot to get here. It took a lot to get here. From 2017 to this. It's a lot. So let's keep reading. Now, what they've told me in a regression session is that depending on what you've been doing here, it defines how many versions of you can access. So I have connected to some clients. Some of my clients have been able to access anywhere between 3 to 50 versions of themselves, meaning that their awareness is dialed in to 3 alternate versions of themselves or 50 alternate versions of themselves. And not only did they cut the strings in their reality, they've encouraged other versions of themselves to cut the strings in their reality as well, to the point where y'all all dialed in and synced. 50 versions of yourself is impressive. Now, not to toot my own horn, I was informed I have access to 1,000 versions of myself at this current moment. And after this eclipse, it's going to amplify everything times 5 to 5,000 versions of myself. Just 50 versions of yourself times 5 is 250 versions of you that you could be dealing with. And if you do not have the proper grounding, you can go crazy. You can lose yourself a little bit. This is why these things have to be done gradually. This is why they have to expose you to certain things. It's very systematically done. It's genius where we're at right now. But basically I asked, I said, okay, so what happens? Say I'm connected to 50 versions of myself. What happens to the other 49 versions? She says they go in autopilot. And there's a technology that's doing this. And she says, but you have the ability to kind of dial into these other versions of yourself if you choose. And she says, and you even have the ability to possess that version of yourself. Meaning that once you access, okay, so listen. If you don't understand how Earth works, it's a very interesting place. Say I am 18 years old and I kind of dribbled the basketball a little bit. You know, I was on my high school team. I wasn't even a starter, but I'm 18 years old and I dialed in to a version of myself that was a starter for the basketball team, got a scholarship to college, a super pro basketball player. But I dialed in to this version because I want you to also understand each dimension of you is either a day ahead of you or a day behind you. Now, the science isn't exactly that specific. I've been told it's more like a 3-day, but it's possible that, say you've connected to the 100th version of yourself, that version of you could be a year ahead of you. And that version of you has already started basketball, has already joined the NCAA, and you are now dialed into that version of you. So then you now pick the basketball back up. And you start to do some scrimmages locally and you dunking on people and you killing the competition. And you got colleges now kind of paying attention to you. And before you know it, 6 months later, you got a whole scholarship to be a basketball player. In this reality, this could be how it works. And I can give you endless possibilities of this. But you have actually been asleep to that version of yourself. You have been kind of in autopilot, kind of assisting that other version of yourself by being a six man, by you know, scrimmaging at LA Fitness. You know, you've kind of dialed into that aspect of yourself, but you didn't take it by the bullhorns and say, this is me. Now, they also explain, I said, what happens if you kill off, or what happens if that version of you dies? Do you like obtain all the power and all the knowledge from that version of you? And she says, yes, but it doesn't stay. She says, and this is what these timekeepers don't understand about collapsing the versions of themselves. Eventually, the knowledge fades away. AKA, these guys and goddesses are going to eventually reach Alzheimer's. Yes, gods and goddesses are going to forget themselves. In the time of writing, since we've kind of started to document things, there has been over 3,000 gods and goddesses that have been mentioned. And they have now been reduced to maybe about 1,000. That is 2,000 gods that have developed Alzheimer's, aka been forgotten or lost to themselves or lost to others. And this is their penalty for wanting to destroy the multi versions of themselves versus embracing. supporting. Let's keep going. Make sure you hit that like button, family. Did we get to 200 likes? Where we at? How many likes we at? Moderators, how many likes we at? How many likes we at, moderators? Let me know. 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 Get your T's, family. Get your T's. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Okay. 276 likes. Okay. Let's go. Okay. Got my Cat Williams voice going on right now. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I guess y'all feeling this. This is telling you. Let's keep going. If you haven't seen the movie Split or Mr. Glass, watch it on Netflix. If you want to see, because listen, you also have versions of you that are feminine. Let me throw that out there. Let me make sure y'all caught on to this. There's also versions of you that are feminine. And by default, if their timeline collapses, that spirit is going to connect to you. Now, this is a part of homosexuality. That some of these people are actually experiencing the alternate version of themselves, and this spirit has been placed inside of them, or this version of them is now connected to them. But once again, this is the importance of being grounded to this place, because you can get lost to yourself. You could fuck around and change yourself. And you may change yourself to the point where your soul that has attached itself to Earth 101 for a specific reason is now doing Earth 108 activities. And you're not on Earth 108. Why are you behaving like the Earth 108 version of yourself when you told your soul, I need to be on Earth 101? And this is systematically a way to get you off your timeline. Focus on your timeline. It matters. Because like I said on the Brother Rich channel, you have some people that are on time and you have some people that are in time. And when you are in time, ooh, it's a whole age doesn't apply the same. Reality doesn't apply the same. Healing doesn't apply the same. Emotions don't apply the same. It is different. It's different, fam. In my British voice. The best reference was Justin. Here we go. Another word again. In a movie called In Time. And then Denzel did a movie called Out of Time. These movies are really saying a lot of stuff. And we could sit here and just say, oh, those are just movies. Well, then I could just say, oh, you're just a simple human. I can do the same thing to you. The way you want to just shut down everything as a conspiracy or shut down everything like it's not really trying to talk to you, well, then I can say the same thing. You're just a simple-ass human. And what's crazy is they got a trash can company called Simple Human. Let that sit in. Whew. 400 people in the building. Let's go. Thank you, fam. Thank you. I said having a peaceful mind and heart will get you through this with ease. Because let me help you understand how your mind and your heart plays on this. Emotions, family, they go beyond time. They go beyond space. If someone transitions, they are now currently out of your timeline and out of your space. But yet, you still cry for them. I could be talking to someone in Japan. Matter of fact, I'm talking to people right now, and it is 8:35 Central Time. And if you're in the East Coast, it's 9:35, meaning I'm not in your timeline either. I'm talking to people in California right now. I'm not in your timeline either. And I damn sure ain't physically in your space. I'm digitally in your space, but I'm not physically in your space. And I have pissed some of you off before. I've made some of you cry before. Grasp that emotions are so powerful that they can go beyond space and time. So, your heart is a regulator of these emotions. And as you continue to regulate your emotions via heart, you are allowing your heart to not only regulate the emotions of this self, but the multi-cells, the multiverse of you. This is why Vulcans were so adamant about removing emotions from their way of life and replacing it with logic. Because that is a way for them to harness all of the attention to one specific version of themselves. This is a part of what the priesthoods were doing. This is all Vulcans, Spock is kind of showing y'all some shit in these shows. But I want you to even realize that you're dealing with the multiverse even when you're dealing with other people. Some of you look at me and like, Q, you the man, bro. You steps ahead of me. Well, then I'm just a version of you that may be on Earth 1000. And we each are our own Earths. We are our own universes. All bodies are worlds. And because I'm a few steps ahead of you, you relate to my path. But I want you to understand, this is what got a lot of us in trouble in the first place. Viewing people as leaders, or viewing people ahead of you. I want you to start processing you are exactly where you're supposed to be. And this isn't about being behind, ahead, on the sides. Start accepting that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. That actually produces a level of peace. within your heart, a level of ease within your heart, which then allows your heart to be the tool that provides peace and ease to the multi versions of yourself, even the people you connect to. Thank you for providing peace and ease. I hope to give you the same thing. I hope to reward you with the same gift. No matter what happens on this planet, please approach it with peace and ease. And I want you to actually create 2 actions to represent this peace and this ease. For example, anytime I feel like something is disturbing my peace, instead of me attacking it right away, instead of me going full throttle at it, I take a breath. And that is an action that proves to my body, we're not going to approach this on demon time. Because I've been there. I pulled people out of cars. I used to do the craziest stuff. I got cut off in Atlanta and Buckhead. I straight pulled the dude out of his Fast and Furious car. There are some issues in here that I had to handle to get to the point where I can breathe. The cop pulls me over. I'm taking a breath. The DoorDasher messes up all my food, misses the house. Taking a breath. Whatever happens, I'm doing an action to myself to prove that I am at peace. And here's the ease that I'm speaking on. Most of us are so bothered, it is hard for us to give thanks. Most of us are so bothered, it is very difficult to say thank you. And in the beginning, people that you may be arguing with, people that may be trying to disturb your peace, will not understand you saying thank you. They're going to consider it arrogant. They're going to consider it you being funny. All type of stuff is going to happen. You ain't doing it for them. You're doing it for you. Not only are you thanking them, you're thanking the universe for providing you this opportunity to deal with something that clearly needs to be dealt with. So take a breath and say thank you. Take a breath and say thank you to yourself. Take a breath and say thank you to others. When you're looking at the eclipse, take a breath and say thank you. How many people are telling you that? They want you to fear, run, hide your kids, hide your wife. They want you to do everything except acknowledge from a position of thanks. You will become more dialed in with the multi-versions of yourself if you are more willing to take a breath before controversy or drama happens within your life, and if you are willing to say thank you no matter what. And some of you may not understand the importance of this just yet, but you will. Sometimes it takes time. So like I said, having a peaceful mind and heart will get you through this with ease. Now the question is, what is a dimensional self? I said, well, it is more like having the awareness of things beyond your normal scope of reality. Now, if you've experienced this before, and let me get back to this image so you can understand what I mean with this. When you were a child, still held up by the oracles, by the primordial waters. See, this is a statue, but the statue is only as good as that which holds up the statue, its base. And you can see the base, all divine feminines, oracles, sibyls, holding up this child and giving this child access to a multiverse of information. And this is from 1 through 7. You entered this same experience. You had access to things. You had information that was beyond your scope of understanding. Just society silenced you, specifically in the Black community. I often give this analogy. You have 2 kids in a grocery store. You have a white mom named Sally. You got a Black mom named Cynthia. Sally has a little boy. And the little boy is running around the store with his arms out like he's flying a plane. And Sally says to the little boy, "Hey, Johnny, what are you doing?" And Johnny's like, "Oh, Mom, I'm fighting a galactic war in space right now, flying over the bridge, and I mean, he running with it, dude. Galactic Federation." Dude is straight part of the Galactic Federation. In his mind, at 5 years old, little Johnny is lit. And what does Sally do as the mother? "Oh, Johnny, yes, yes, baby, yes. Good job. Great." She's encouraging this behavior. She's encouraging little Johnny's imagination. But then you have Cynthia, who got to work 3 jobs. The baby father's in jail because he ran a stop sign because he was trying to get home to bring milk to his wife, Cynthia. And because he was Black, driving fast in the neighborhood or running stop signs, they done hit him with 10 charges. Bro didn't even do nothing wrong. But Cynthia disturbed already. She done took the rock of her home. She now got to raise Andrew. I don't know. I'm just giving you a name. He now got to raise Andrew. And little Andrew is in the same grocery store as Sally and Johnny. And little Andrew is in the same Galactic Federation war as Johnny in the store. They probably fighting each other. And guess what happens to Andrew? Cynthia grabs him by his ear, tells him, "If you don't get his ass by this carriage, if you don't help me pick out the oatmeal, the salt, the pepper, the noodles," he got a whole list he got to find. 5 years old, helping you grocery shop. When he really trying to fight the Galactic Federation war, he losing right now. Cynthia, you making your son lose right now. He was up. It was Anunnaki. It was Pantheon versus Archon. Pantheons was up 3-0, and now you done knocked out the head captain, and now the damn Archons is creeping back in, and we're up here being enslaved right now because you didn't even let Andrew win the Galactic Federation. This is real. I don't think I'm playing with this stuff. This is how real it gets. We are sometimes our worst enemies. Sally is supporting Johnny. And guess what Johnny grows up to be? An airplane pilot? Making 150, 200K a year? Guess what Andrew grows up to be? Another casualty. So we're getting back to that, luckily. I had a regression where the devil was holding on to my client's inner child, like a headlock type thing, on some like, I can't allow her to manifest for herself. And we were able to discover that if some deity is captured your inner child, you're going to have issues manifesting things for self. Now, you can manifest things that help or serve them, but you're going to have difficulties manifesting for yourself. And this solar eclipse is all about being able to get back into alignment with the oracles, with the sun, getting in sync with this. Don't worry about this right now. Don't worry about Kong and his conquerors. This is what we're getting back to. Accessing a multitude of information that is coming from the wombs where our minds begin. That's coming from the wombs of these oracles. It's all about you being able to get to this certain level of unrestricted manifestation. But your manifestations is only as powerful as your thoughts and your imagination. And if these thought gods continue to rule over your thoughts, you're going to have difficulty. And if these thought gods have contracts on you, and some of these contracts consist of dominating, ruling over your inner child, then you're going to have a hard time with your imagination. And if you do not take back your thoughts and your imagination, you will never be manifesting for self. Look at that. I didn't even know that. Eclipse is in Aries. Aries is the child of the zodiac. Just like Kong and Marvel. Now, I want you to know that our governments, allegedly, has been using a technology known as chemtrails to patch the ozone layer. Did you catch that? Let me say it one more time. Allegedly, there are government agencies that are using chemtrails to block out cosmic rays. And why would they be wanting to block out cosmic rays? Well, for one, if you're dealing with a species that has not evolved enough to absorb these rays and not become sick. Now, not all people have difficulties handling these cosmic rays. Keep in mind, this is not a race thing. But you have cosmic rays. I want you to understand information travels on light. So you have the information of the cosmos seeping into Earth. And if you don't think this has happened before, then you should investigate the Mayans that not only understood very in-depth aspect of the movement of the stars and planets, they even knew the width of the black hole that is at the center of the Milky Way galaxy. Now you tell me, how does a people in antiquity that do not have electricity understand the width of the black hole? Because cosmic rays sends information, and there are certain people that are sensitive to these cosmic rays. But what is the ozone layer? Ooh, such an interesting conversation. What is the ozone layer? The ozone layer is a group of ancient melanated people that were captured and used to absorb cosmic rays. This is why they show you the picture of the children all around the globe holding hands. Many don't realize that the children are actually our ancestors. So when you see the picture and growing up in the 90s and 2000s of children holding hands all around the earth, they're actually telling you something. This is a deep subconscious command helping you remember what could have happened to even some of us in a long, long time ago. Now, you also have a movie called Us, and they were adamant about joining hands all across the globe. Us was about the dead rising, or clones that dwell beneath us, rising from the underworld. But is there any proof?
How to open your car door while
Of this? Now, one would have to ask, what do we define as proof? I say, anytime anything is ever said or mentioned, there's always a level of deception and a level of truth. No matter what is being presented, no matter what, if you're telling me that there are pink elephants outside, there is a level of truth to this and a level of deception to this. We are in a duat. We're in a dualistic system. So it's inevitable for there to be a truth in the lie. So then we got to talk about Scientology. and an evil scientist known as Xenu. There are there are celebrities, John Travolta, Tom Cruise. There's a lot of money that was spent to discover this. That's why I be cracking up. But I just think about how much money people spend right now. What? What? How much for the retreat? How much for your classes? What? Shit's crazy. So they joke on automatic writing. So they're saying that L. Ron Hubbard didn't even really think. He just wrote whatever he felt, meaning this was a channeled message. Now, what you're hearing here is an incorrect aspect of this. The original aspect of this was that there were a group of hairy mammals known as Bigfoots and Yetis and Kongs and all that good stuff that dwelled on Mars. That this evil scientist understood that there was a super volcano that was going to explode on Mars. So this individual waited for this explosion to happen and then used the technology to capture all of those souls that experienced that level of devastation and used that to produce what we refer to as our ozone layer. Now, that means there's no getting out of here. This is the whole concept of King Kong and Godzilla. But you are basically dealing with a very, very powerful soul. The Yeti, the werewolf, the Bigfoot is an extremely powerful soul. And they use these powerful souls to get placed on a planet that they were not as familiar with. Now listen to this. Once they dome off, this is also your firmament. Once you dome off the planet, you then create another explosion. This time, you deal with the reptilian species that dwell on this planet. And this asteroid that they claim to happen in the Yucatan Peninsula or bomb or whatever happened in them ancient times dinosaurs, this actually created the souls of reptilians to bounce off of the dome, aka ozone layer, and enter back into the survivalists. I want you to understand what would have happened during the time of these reptilians. You had vegetarian reptilians and you had carnivore reptilians. The vegetarian reptilians were killed off first because the sun was blocked out from this explosion, which prevented any of the plant life from growing for a set period of time. So you only have the carnivores or the carnivore reptilians surviving. This is only the strong survive concept. So now you have cannibals. You have reptiles that are eating each other to survive. And you now are having some of these more lighter souls bouncing back into these more crazy carnal entities. So this is how you're going to instantly have a battle with yourself, because you have like a good reptile in you and a bad reptile in you. On top of you now have a dome. And this dome is basically absorbing cosmic rays. So, let me help you understand this concept. You basically have this ozone layer or these ancestors be a filter. So because they experience bad, they're only able to project the bad. So say the cosmic rays is sending information. And say this is good information and bad information. The good information can't seep through to us because there is a layer of rottenness that is surrounding. And as this information is getting sent, you get good information, but you're still getting rotten information as well. You can use water to heal a person, or you can use water to waterboard a person. Same concept. You have information being sent unbiased. This is water. This is fire. It could keep you warm. It could burn down a village. But instead of us receiving both of those things, fire, it can keep you warm and it could burn down a village. It burns down a village. Fire, burn down village, burn down village, burn down village. And we're constantly battling that struggle until we popped open holes. So how do you open up a hole in the ozone layer? By removing a soul that is the ozone layer. Well, how do you remove a soul that is the ozone layer? You have to heal that soul. So, this is why you are a mammalian or mammal. And your whole existence is about healing this mammalian ancestor that experienced death and dishonor. Something tricked them. So you as a mammal have to evolve beyond tricks and go beyond death. And once you master technology and resurrection, I know, whoa. Once you master resurrection, you create a hole in the ozone layer, family. You basically allow that mammalian ancestor to get at peace. They are living vicariously through you. If you can learn the tricks of the trade, this is what all this is about. The knowledge. You don't even understand the urgency why you want to obtain this knowledge so much, because on a subconscious level, there is a version of you in the sky stuck. It's like a ship. It's like a spaceship that's just been waiting there to move. And the only way it can move is when you can mentally and emotionally get it in motion. This is why it's important for you. And how do you master rebirth, resurrection? Most of you have done that already. Who you are now is not who you was 5 years ago. Who you are now is not who you was 5 years ago. You have killed off that version of yourself. And lucky enough, you have rebirthed something new. And that is so powerful. It is healing. And it is now opening up doorways in our sky to allow cosmic energy to come through, so that when this information comes, we're now able to understand how to do good with it and not just bad with it. That's all I got for y'all today, family. That's all I got for y'all. That's all I got for y'all. It's a good question. What if people have found their ship and got their ship in motion? It's not a what if. What do you think these celestial lights and stars and stuff moving? See, if you look at the image I just showed you, they look like little sperm cells flying up to the dome. It's because that's kind of what it is. It's a ghost. It's transparent. The ozone layer. It's a ghost. It's a ghost. But how, just like Patrick Swayze, is transparent. But the moment he was able to transition, he became more of a physical form. The moment you heal yourself, you are then going to add illumination to your ship, and your ship is going to follow you around. Your ship is going to be patient with you, just like a dragon does. Some of you don't even realize that some of these ships is not nuts and bolts. Some of these ships is Pegasus. Some of these ships is Sphinx. Some of these ships is Griffins. Some of these ships is dragons. They gonna stop knocking me down, bro. they gonna stop. Thank you, family. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, that's what I got for y'all. I'm gonna be back up here. Y'all got this. Whatever it is you're dealing with, whatever it is you're worried about, whatever it is you feel you're fearing or failing right now, you got this. The universe is not going to put you somewhere that you're not capable of excelling in. Fuck just surviving. The universe. Now, a god or a goddess can put you somewhere where you're just complacent, where you're just surviving, not thriving. But the universe, if you truly consider yourself a tool of it, I am a tool of the universe. When you really understand that, the universe is not going to put you anywhere that you cannot excel in. So please start getting ready to exhale.